Brazilian waxing looks easy, until one small mistake ruins everything. Let's be real, in 2026, waxing doesn't have to hurt, but only if you do it the right way. Most of the pain, the irritation, and those disappointing results come from simple technique mistakes, not the waxing itself. Whether you're preparing for beach season in Miami, a summer holiday in Spain, or you just want that smooth skin for everyday confidence, mastering the basics makes all the difference. Stay until the end, because I'm going to share the #1 bikini waxing habit most women still get wrong in 2026. First, let's talk about why Brazilian waxing hurts and why it doesn't have to. The pain you feel is almost always related to technique, not your personal pain tolerance. The tension you hold in your skin matters far more than the type of wax you use. Also, the timing of your wax can seriously affect sensitivity, and stress is a huge factor that increases discomfort. Proper preparation alone can reduce the pain by at least half. Now, Brazilian versus bikini wax. Let's finally clear this up. A bikini wax is all about the surface area, cleaning up the sides and top. A Brazilian is full removal, front to back. These require different techniques, come with different pain expectations, and definitely need different aftercare. So know what you're asking for and what to expect. Next, who should not wax today? If you have any skin irritation, redness, or breakouts, just wait. Sunburn and waxing absolutely do not mix. Also, be aware of hormonally sensitive days, like right before your period, when everything just hurts more. And if you're on certain medications like Accutane or retinoids, check with your doctor first. It's always better to reschedule safely than to risk damaging your skin. Let's talk about hair length rules that most people ignore. If your hair is too short, the wax has nothing to grip, making the pull totally ineffective. If it's too long, it causes unnecessary pain and tangling. The ideal length is about 1/4 of an inch, like a grain of rice. This is why shaving in between appointments totally backfires. It messes up your timing and growth cycle. Always trim, never shave. Speaking of which, shaving before waxing is a huge mistake. It completely changes the hair growth pattern, making your next wax more painful. It also causes an uneven pull, leaving you with patchy results, and, worst of all, a higher chance of ingrown hairs. You're basically delaying the smooth, long-lasting results you want. Okay, skin prep that changes everything. Start with clean skin for a better grip. The skin must be completely dry for less pain. Use an oil-free cleanser, and make sure there's no lotion or body oil left. If you tend to sweat, especially in a hot climate like Dubai or Nairobi, a little bit of cornstarch or baby powder can be a lifesaver. Now, let us choose the right wax for 2026. Hard wax is generally better for sensitive areas, like a Brazilian, because it grabs the hair, not the skin. Soft wax is better for larger, less sensitive areas. Look for sensitive skin formulas, and always be aware of the temperature. Your climate matters too. Some waxes perform better in humidity. For beginners, stick with a high-quality hard wax. This brings us to the temperature test that professionals use. Too hot will burn your skin, period. Too cool will be brittle and won't pull the hairs effectively. The classic wrist test is your best friend. Apply a small patch to the inside of your wrist. It should feel warm, not hot. Visually, it should have the consistency of thick honey, not watery. Positioning is the secret to less pain. The angles of your body matter so much. The key is to stretch the skin taut in the area you're about to wax. Lying flat often helps you get the best leverage. For at-home waxing, use pillows to prop yourself up and make sure you're comfortable without tensing your muscles. Let's correct some application direction mistakes. Always apply the wax in the direction of hair growth. Work in small, manageable sections. This gives you more control. The thickness should be even, about the thickness of a nickel. Create a clean edge or lip at the end of the strip to make it easier to pull. And please, avoid relayering wax over the same spot. Now, the pull technique that saves your skin. The pull must be fast and confident, but the most important part is pulling parallel to the skin, like you're skimming the surface. Never pull straight up, away from the body. That's what causes bruising and hair breakage. Place one hand to hold the skin tight, and use the other to pull quickly in the opposite direction of hair growth. How do you wax those super sensitive zones safely? Work in even smaller patches. Take breaks between pulls to let your skin and your nerves calm down. Use your breathing exhale sharply as you pull, and apply firm pressure with your hand to the area immediately after the pull. If it feels like too much, it's okay to stop and finish another day. You can manage pain without numbing creams. In fact, They can sometimes backfire by making the skin slippery. That immediate pressure after the pull is the best trick in the book. It confuses the nerve endings. You can also use a cool compress briefly between sections. A steady breathing rhythm and focusing your mind on something else also helps distract from the sensation. Knowing when to switch sections is crucial. If an area is getting very red or showing signs of irritation, move on. Don't push it. Overwaxing the same spot is a fast track to lifting your skin, which is painful and takes a while to heal. A professional follows a logical pacing, and you should too. Ingrown hair prevention starts the moment you pull the wax. Ensuring a clean pull in the right direction helps prevent hair from breaking below the skin's surface. Post-wax, wait 24 to 48 hours before you start gently exfoliating. Over-exfoliating will just irritate your sensitive skin, and be mindful of tight clothes or intense gym sessions right after. Let's discuss post-wax care in the first hour. Your goal is to cool and calm the skin. Apply a soothing, fragrance-free oil or lotion specifically made for post-waxing. Do not apply anything with alcohol or heavy fragrances. Avoid friction from tight clothing, and wait a few hours before taking a lukewarm, not hot, shower. Then comes the 48-hour golden rule. For 2 full days, avoid intense workouts, hot baths or saunas, tight underwear, and sun exposure on the waxed area. Your pores are open, and your skin is vulnerable. Giving it this time to heal is non-negotiable for preventing bumps, irritation, and infection. What about those dark marks on the bikini line? Let's get real about the causes. This is often post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, not permanent scarring. It's a reaction to inflammation from things like shaving irritation, friction from clothing, or improper waxing technique. Healing takes time, but gentle exfoliation and using products with ingredients like niacinamide can help correct it over time. Waxing after 30, 40, or 50 looks a little different. Our skin elasticity changes, and healing can be a bit slower. You might need to be even more diligent about holding the skin taut. Hormonal shifts can also affect sensitivity. The goal is confidence over perfection. Be gentle with yourself. So, how often should you actually wax? This depends on your personal hair growth cycle, but the sweet spot for most people is every 4 to 6 weeks. This allows the hair to grow to the ideal length and helps synchronize the growth cycles. Overwaxing is damaging, but waxing consistently leads to finer hair and longer-lasting smoothness. At home versus professional waxing, the biggest factors are skill versus safety and cost versus comfort. If you're new to this, it might be worth it to see a pro a few times to learn the technique. A hybrid approach also works well. Maybe you do your own bikini line but see a pro for the full Brazilian. Let's bust some common 2026 waxing myths. Myth 1. Waxing always hurts. Not if done correctly. Myth 2. Hard wax is painless. It's less painful but not entirely painless. Myth 3. More wax equals a better grip. Nope. Too much wax is messy and ineffective. Myth 4. Redness means skin damage. Some redness is a normal, temporary reaction. So what are the top mistakes that cause bad results? Rushing the process is number 1. Ignoring skin prep, choosing the wrong wax for the area, overworking the skin by waxing the same spot repeatedly, and skipping aftercare will all sabotage your results. Ultimately, this is all about confidence and body comfort. It's totally normal to have fears or feel a little awkward. Think of it as a self-care ritual. Do what you need to do to feel private and comfortable. This is your empowered beauty choice. So be kind to yourself through the process. And now for the number 1 habit that changes everything. The one most women still get wrong in 2026. It's not a secret product or a fancy tool. It's simply this: consistency over perfection and listening to your skin. Stop trying to get every single hair in one session. Stop using force instead of technique. When you focus on educating yourself and caring for your skin first, the smooth, calm results will follow. It's a journey, not a one-time battle. If this helped you feel more confident about your next wax, you're definitely not alone. Watch my video next on why you have to stop shaving before your wax. Or check out my guide to Brazilian waxing after 40. Join the Glow Fam and subscribe for more real-world waxing tips. Comment below and let me know, what part of waxing makes you the most nervous? Like this video and share it with a friend who needs a calmer waxing experience. And don't forget to download my free .com wax prep guide in the description below. Thanks for watching.